Hi, my name's Dom Holland and I'm from a company called Soow. We're based in Brisbane, Australia. And I'm here today to talk about passwords because passwords are broken. I'm sure that all of us in this room have had lots of problems with passwords ourselves, but they're inherently bad technology from both a security and a usability perspective. From a security perspective, they're like the keys to your car. Anyone who gets access to the token has access, whether they're actually authorized or not. They're stored at a server level, so they're prone to, they become target-rich environments for hackers and bad actors. And we've seen over 7 billion leaked email and password combos out there, which proves that true. They're hard to remember, right? It's hard for us to remember 10 long characters, strings of uppercase and lowercase and vowels and whatnot. And so they're very difficult to scale for users. And you can see that the users are very vocal about this, both on social media and online, as well as with your help desk and resetting passwords and whatnot. Really concerningly is the economic impact it has. So MasterCard released a study with Oxford University that says 1 in 3 online sales are currently abandoned around the world because of passwords. This is a terrifying statistic. This is $1 trillion a year in lost economic value purely because of passwords. So for every $100 currently transacted online, $50 is missed just because of this problem. So we've built a solution and it's called Soow Connect. It's passwordless authentication as a service. It's completely backwards compatible. Facebook could drop the password field and drop us onto their site and we would support all 2 billion users off the bat. We, for first-time users of Soow, will generate a one-time token and send it to the identifier to make sure that they're actually in control of the identifier that they've provided, which means that it provides identification and authentication in one step. We also have a Soow app, which means that users can have MFA tokens and other types of tokens like YubiKeys, or use biometric tokens like Face ID or Touch ID to further authenticate each request. And this is important because we make these tokens scalable, because on their own they need to be registered at a device or a browser level for every single service a user wants to use these tokens for. But what we allow them to do is register these tokens once and then use them on any property that actually utilizes Soow. So it provides a really scalable framework for authentication. Now, passwords are just the first friction point in this connection between users and organizations, and data privacy is a real concern for users. And so you can see half of all users haven't transacted, again, because of privacy reasons, and it's no surprise with the amount of data breaches that we continually see. Facebook and Google and Marriott, 500 million people's information with passport numbers and date of birth and really sensitive information being leaked. And so we're releasing Connect Plus, and this is our Connect product, but also facilitating the sharing of data in a really transparent way and a secure way for users, so that users can be in control of what information they're providing and to who, and to continually monitor that. So we believe in unbundled consent, but we don't want to add a friction point to a process that already has a lot of friction points. So we make unbundled consent at a data point level very simple for users to manage. And we believe that by doing this, we'll actually enable the users to share more data than ever before, and both upfront and ongoing. If we give them a data wallet in their pocket through the Soow app, then it's likely that they will keep organizations updated with the new address or with their phone number, which opens up new commercial opportunities for businesses, but also allow them to update critical information like emergency contact information, which likely none of us actually update, but it is highly critical information. Integration is easy. 2 lines of code is all it takes to put our button onto our website and enable passwordless authentication. Our pricing model, in terms of our market size, the market in the US alone is estimated at about $200 billion a year. Our pricing model is very simple. It seems to have eluded this slide, but it's a freemium model. It's 10 cents per active user per month with volume discounts. And we've got a really experienced team behind it. Thank you. Any questions?
Dom, how are you comparing yourself with like a hyper as to a passwordless?
Look, I think where we really concentrate on is being completely backwards compatible. It's a really important piece for us that like a slide previously mentioned, there's a lot of interesting technology coming out in the security space, and all of it is typically around different types of security tokens that can replace passwords rather than actually the delivery process and a third-party scaling. And so things like WebAuthn and FIDO have this great, provide a great opportunity to use advanced tokens, but there needs to be a service to make them scale well, and it means that anyone that hasn't had one of those tokens is still supported off the bat, straight off the cuff. So we don't need to import existing user bases, but can still support 100% of users.
Is this something that both the user and, let's say, the bank have to opt to use your service?
No, so this is what I'm saying. So the bank or the merchant or the company integrates our tech. The user doesn't actually do anything. So users don't need to be a user of Soow to use the platform. We can just provide authentication as a service through a one-time token, or users can then download the Soow app, and then they can actually utilize better security and authenticate tokens, with MFA as well.
Since you replaced that with a password, are you providing like vaulting functionality for the enterprise?
So we replace the password, not the identifier. So we use existing identifiers. So we're not providing identity as a service. We're just providing authentication as a service.
Are you providing any feature to like rotate those passwords more often, since passwords can be tracked when you're still using someone else?
Well, in an ideal world, we just won't have passwords, to be honest. And so we, and realistically, it'd be great if everyone just deleted the password field and implemented Soow. But we're happy to sit alongside as an option as well, because for the 2/3 of people who may have a pre-filled password or password manager or whatever it's not common at the time, then they can use that, right? Yeah, but on a different device or whatnot, then we serve a real purpose initially. But then again, like I said, with that Soow app, provides extra authentication, and so people can actually use YubiKeys and stuff very easily, that may be more difficult at the moment.
I mean, I love the idea. It also feels like it's getting chipped away at from like Apple, Google, Facebook. Well, Facebook is a little separate story, but it seems all the biggies are chipping away at this and trying to make passwords go away. I realize you've actually solved the problem, but you have a critical mass problem.
Well, look, it's a really great point. One of the big ones, taking Facebook or Google as an example, they're tied to a social graph. We've seen what's happened with Facebook recently, and decline in Europe and whatnot. So there's a big problem there. But they require the user to be pre-registered to one of these services first. Doesn't matter how many users they've got. Facebook's blocked in China, so China can't use that service, right? So they've blocked huge amounts of people who aren't members of any of those services. So Android users who may not be Apple users can't use Apple login. So all of these services offer siloed login functionality for some people. We offer a 100% completely backwards compatible passwordless login solution.
Great, thanks. Okay, next up we have Vince from Dark Cubed. Come on up.